Much better than that. This is the best of the best. Very rare, very hard to find because it's so new, it's cutting edge. You simply take blood out of one arm. It comes out, it'll be like a dark purple, dark black. Take blood out of one arm, ozonate it, filter out all the residue, all the sediments, all the dead bugs, all the toxins, filter it out, and then take the clean, pure, sterilized, bright cardinal red blood, put it back in the other arm. And you do this continuously in a pumping circuit at the right pressures, where people know what they're doing. This is strictly a clinical practice. And I've known people that have done that for 3 hours. 3 hours, they bring a guy into a clinic. This is in another country, a doctor was telling me about it. Guy's dying of AIDS. He's passed out, he's on a stretcher. What can we do? He's just about labored breathing, he's gone. He's going to be dead in a few hours. Well, let's hook him up. Let's hook him up to the recirculatory hemoperfusion machine, RHP. Another name used to be polyatomic apheresis. I coined RHP as a more comprehensive, descriptive term for it. So they hooked him up to the machine. They let the blood circulate with the ozone, cleaning it and filtering out the garbage for 3 hours. The guy gets up off the stretcher, brushes himself off, and walks out the door. My God, it's a miracle. No, my God, the miracle is nature's oxygen. Nature's oxygen, the ozone, used correctly in medical therapy. Still not taught in American medical schools. Ozone does not cause embolisms. Some people think, oh my God, you inject ozone in the human body, you're going to... No. That comes from a misunderstanding of science. If you have nitrogen, which the air is 80% of nitrogen, and you inject air into someone's body, that 80% of the air, which is nitrogen, is insoluble in blood. Nitrogen will cause nitrogen bubbles or nitrogen bubble embolisms in the human body. So, if we're only using no nitrogen, pure medical-grade oxygen from a tank, which the body loves, turning 2% of that into ozone, which the body loves too, and we inject that into someone, there is no embolism. Another thing you want to do is when you're detoxifying someone is you don't want to end your therapy abruptly. Let's say someone's very sick with cancer or end-stage something else, and they go into an ozone clinic somewhere, and they get 2 weeks of therapy, and then they stop. Well, that's not smart, because what they're doing is they've spent 2 weeks detoxifying or dragging up everything that's stored in the blood. See, if your body doesn't know what to do with something, it simply stuffs it somewhere and comes in with mucus. Okay? Then you put the oxygen, the ozone in, and the oxygen ozone rips off or oxidizes the mucopolysaccharides. The mucus takes it out, uncorks, uncaps the covered up whatever it is, that comes out, it kills that, and then all this garbage is floating in your system. Well, if just like that you stop your therapy, you don't come back every day, all that's just going to settle someplace new, cause all kinds of problems. So you must gradually, slowly come off one of these heavy-duty therapies in a clinical setting. By coming down very, very slowly, less and less and less. Gives the body time to reorganize the waste matter, put it in the proper places. There are more than 3,000 medical references in the German, Russian, Italian, and Cuban literature, probably more like 10 or 12,000 if we start reading some of these foreign languages, especially German, showing ozone's use throughout 50 years of application to humans by way of millions of dosages. The International Ozone Association and the ozone machine manufacturers report more than 7,000 MDs in Europe using medical ozone safely and effectively, and some have been doing this for more than 40 years. And yet you have somebody, an assistant from the FDA, stand up in front of a senatorial committee here in the United States, hold up an ozone machine and say, this is quackery. Ozone is a toxic gas with no medical applications. And then that phrase is put into the Federal Register to become administrative law. Ozone is a toxic gas with no medical applications. And on the day they said that, there were thousands of physicians giving millions of dosages around the world of these therapies. They're not all quacks and charlatans. They do it because it's simple, it's cheap, and it works. But it's not drugs. Who do you think was paying him to stand up in front of our congressman and lie about ozone? I've interviewed many people with cancer sent home to die who then used proper ozone therapies and ended up still perfectly healthy 5 years later. I've had them stand up in my workshops and lectures. They'll stand up and go, Mr. McCabe, yes, I want everybody in here to listen to what he has to say. I came here with 2 weeks to live last year. 2 weeks to live. last year. It's a year later, and he's standing up telling everyone to listen to what I had to say. I've seen this over and over. But these people stuck to a full protocol. They got daily supplementation, injections, whatever, of the ozone, oxygen, active oxygen. They got it in the right dosages and the right concentrations, very important, and combined it with other significant oxygen and other different modalities that were necessary. They applied it once or twice a day, every single day, for at least 6 weeks. Those are the best success stories I've seen.